Sheesh, bro. $70. The controller's $70 now. 75. So today we have this PS5 controller a customer dropped off. He said it has stick drift, and for those of you that don't know what that is, it's when you're playing the game and you're using the analog and it starts to move by itself. And how that'll affect the game is, let's say you're playing Call of Duty and you're trying to aim at somebody, the analog starts moving, and obviously you can see how that it would affect you. It's a pretty cool controller. It has a one-piece decal on it, which is pretty cool, I think. But other than that, it's a regular PS5 controller. Why this customer wants to get this fixed, as all you know, PS5 controllers right now are pretty expensive. As you can see, Best Buy, even the PlayStation Store is about $75. So fixing it would be a better option than buying a new one. So we're going to go ahead and get into the repair, and I'm going to show you the first things I do to diagnose it and see which stick is causing the issue, and we'll go from there. We're going to be using this program called DualShock Calibration GUI. You can get this on GitHub. It's free. You don't have to pay for it, and it's a good program to use when you want to find out which stick is causing the drift, and also to test it, and also if you want to recalibrate the controller. So we're going to go ahead and plug it in. After we plug it in, we press connect, and it'll show up the DualSense wireless controller. We're going to click that, and we're going to press connect. Now, as you can see right away, these are the two analogs that we see here. This is the left, this is the right. You can see the left one is already drifting by itself, and I'm not even touching it.
Wow.
You can see how the right one is perfectly calibrated, it's not moving whatsoever. But the left, without even pressing it, it's already moving in all directions. So that just means it shows some kind of error happening with the left stick. With this program itself, sometimes you can calibrate the analog if it's not too messed up, but in this case, it's pretty bad. If we go here, if we go to a gamepad tester, this is also you could find on this site. There's a link for it. You can see a actual image of the controller, and you can see the stick actually moving to the left. This is the right stick. This is the left. But you can see it's moving in that direction without having to press it or anything. So playing a game, it's always going to be doing the right and left motion without touching it. So this basically solves that it's actually a issue with the stick drift itself, and we're going to go ahead and replace it. All right, so we're almost there, taking this board out. There's a few more things we got to do. These two motors on the side, they're the vibrate motors, and they are soldered to the board. There's red and black wire here, and the red and black wire here. So before we take this board out, these four wires have to be desoldered, and then the board will come out. Alright, so I used the vacuum tool to try to get as much solder out of these joints as possible, but some of them the solder wasn't letting up. So in this scenario, I gotta use the hot air to basically try to loosen as much as I can, and then remove the stick. This one's gonna go. Alright, now that we got the stick out, I'm going to go over the holes again to make sure all the solder is removed. I'm going to use some copper wire, and obviously my soldering iron. And we're going to try to get these holes cleaned up. A little more on this side. all the holes. This is the new stick that we're going to be replacing it with. And now that the holes are cleaned out, no solder in them, we could put this in, do a little test fit. Want to make sure it's flush with the board, the stick itself, no pins are angled off, and this looks pretty straight. I push it down as much as it goes, so it seems like it's straight enough. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna fill these joints with solder, and that'll make the connection that it needs. Alright, new stick is in, so we're gonna start putting this controller back together and try calibrating it afterwards. Alright, let's see if we can calibrate this stick. Make sure it starts working. So after connecting the controller to the DualShock calibration tool, we see that on the axis it's still showing that it's drifting to the right. It's not even drifting, it's stuck on the right. So what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to calibrate the stick center first, and then we're gonna go from there. We're gonna move both sticks to the top left corner and release them. Top right corner now. Bottom left. Bottom right. Okay. Now we're gonna do the second one, calibrate stick range. Okay. Range calibration complete. As you can see how center it is. We look here. It's pretty spot on. It might be, let me see. It's not zeroed out. As you can see, it's 0.02 on the left axis and 0.03 on the y axis. So it's not perfect, but it's better than what it started with, and it's not drifting by itself. Try one more time. Yeah, it's about in range. We're gonna go back to the gamepad tester. Let's see. Yeah, that's about it. This repair is complete. The stick is working properly now, and there is no more drifting. One more thing, before you exit this whole page out, make sure you save the changes permanently. Otherwise, you gotta start from the beginning.